What did you think about the Monarch song?
Buttergliding! No more hiding things that are wonderful!
Do you ever experience events from the Venture Bros popping into your mind for no reason whatsoever?
Flynn's Arcade.
Hello, welcome to Flynn's Arcade. This video is about the diving bell and the Butterglider, which was written by Jackson Publick and first broadcast on September 12, 2010, with reference to the art of the Venture Bros. It's a particularly great episode today. Let's go. The Monarch has a new piece of equipment, the Butterglider.
What the hell is that?
My new Butterglider!
Which drives his wife and the henchman crazy. Meanwhile, Dr. Venture has a mysterious illness, so Brock, Shoreleave and the boys go on a Fantastic Voyage-inspired adventure.
Billy! Travel size 'em!
Only to find a shocking discovery.
Buttergliding! No more hiding things that are wonderful! Buttercrying!
The Butterglider song is a reference to A Whole New World from the Disney movie Aladdin. It is one of my favourite events in the Venture Bros. It's a catchy song and the sequence is beautiful, but it has an edge to it. The Monarch's increasingly erotic fascination with the Butterglider is very unusual, and his obsession with it is driving a wedge between him and his wife and his poorly equipped henchman.
Where are they going?
They're pissed because I just got done explaining why we can't afford to buy them better equipment.
Doc Hammer wrote the song in about 3 hours and Jackson recorded it in 15 minutes, and it's been living rent-free in my head for years. Seriously, it must pop into my head for no reason on a daily basis. The scene when the boys find their own skeletal remains in Dr. Venture is shocking.
Holy shit. So that's what happened to the Sevens.
What?
And it's one of the occasions when they could have easily figured out that they were clones.
I still don't understand why anyone would want to steal our clothes, shrink themselves, and drive a submarine into Pop. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and where were we while all this was going on, huh?
Were it not for Brock hastily coming up with a sketchy explanation for them being there. There's an interesting backstory to this scene. Jackson had been planning on doing a Fantastic Voyage-inspired episode since season 1. But when he saw an episode of Sea Lab 2021, which was also based on Fantastic Voyage, he decided to shelve the idea. But when he came up with the concept of finding a long-dead Hank and Dean in there, he decided to resurrect the Fantastic Voyage storyline. If you look closely, Hank and Dean's skeletons are dressed in their season 1 uniforms, which is a really nice callback. Cultural references. The Diving Bell and the Butterfly, 1997. The title of the episode is a reference to The Diving Bell and the Butterfly, a memoir by the highly acclaimed French journalist Jean-Dominique Bourbet. Jean-Dominique suffered a severe stroke which left him unable to move except for his left eye. Because he already had a contract to write a book, he set to work with a transcriber who deciphered his blinks to write words. It was a marathon project which took around 2 minutes to write each word. Jean-Dominique sadly died 2 days after the book was published, but it went on to become the #1 bestseller across Europe. Its total sales are now in millions. It was adapted into a film in 2007, which won a number of awards and ranks in the BBC's list of 100 great films of the 21st century. Because Dr. Venture is paralysed from a stroke in this episode, it's an apt reference. Talking Heads.
It looks like a gorilla suit with nobody in it, wearing David Byrne's Stop Making Sense suit.
King Gorilla looks like David Byrne in his Stop Making Sense suit. David Byrne was the lead singer of Talking Heads, and during the Stop Making Sense concert, he wore a comedically oversized suit. If you've never listened to Talking Heads, definitely check them out. Psycho Killer is one of my favourite songs. Tron, 1982.
Protect your Psycho Lab computer estimates arrival of venture compound in T-minus 2 minutes. Prepare for separation.
We are go for separation.
Separation in 3, 2, 1.
The aesthetic of Billy and White's conjecture cycles is reminiscent of Tron. There's a new Tron film coming out on the 10th of October, which I'm considering the name of this channel. I'm considering making a video about. PowerPoint.
The henchmen of the future. The mighty Monarch Mark V hench suit. Made of flexible polyalloy, they are lightweight, fireproof, and bulletproof.
Gary's presentation may have been a reference to the accusation that the US military had an over-reliance on PowerPoint. An article in the New York Times described this as dangerous because it can create an illusion of understanding and an illusion of control. Despicable Me 2010.
Come on, 21. If that stuff even exists yet, it would cost a fortune. Well, then, why don't you send us out to rob a bank or ransom the moon or something?
Ransom the Moon is a reference to the dastardly work of the villain in Despicable Me. Chiclets.
How about gum? As every schoolboy knows, it's undeniable medical fact that a piece of gum takes 30 years to digest. I'm guessing little Rusty here was a swallower back in the day, and those chiclets are finally coming home to roost.
Chiclets are a type of chewing gum. Hank's comment about it taking 30 years to digest gum is not true. Unless a person has a condition such as a paralysed stomach, it will pass through the body normally. The whole thing is an urban myth, possibly started by concerned parents to prevent their kids from swallowing gum. Hank is notoriously poorly educated, which could be why he's repeating this long debunked myth. Fantastic Voyage 1966 and Inner Space 1987.
It is a classic.
Inner Space is not a classic.
It's like a great film.
Then why don't they make it on DVD, huh,
They
fella?
totally do it. Whatever. I was talking about Fantastic Voyage anyway.
Both films are about people getting shrunk down to travel through a human body. Spider-Man, issue 39, 1966. Jackson once drew a picture of the Monarch dressed as the Green Goblin for Halloween, so he decided he wanted to put him on a glider. When the Monarch drags Dr. Venture into the sky, it's a reference to the cover of Spider-Man issue 39. If you're enjoying this video, please could you drop me a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And now, on with the video. Sarah Palin.
Yeah, well, finders keepers. Should have thought of that before you pulled a Palin and adios with your new pals to chase pirates.
Sgt Hatred accuses Brock of pulling a Palin when he gave up his position as the Venture's bodyguard. This is a reference to Sarah Palin's resignation as governor of Alaska 18 months before the completion of her term. Operation 1965.
Butterfingers!
It's Operation, the wacky doctor's game.
All right, boys, that stopped being funny about 20 minutes ago.
Hank, Dean and Shoreleave make jokes about the popular board game Operation, much to the annoyance of Brock. Saturday Night Fever 1977.
Hello? Sonar's lighting up like Tony Monaro's gonna dance all over it.
Shoreleave mentions Tony Monaro dancing. This is a reference to John Travolta's character in Saturday Night Fever, where he played a disco dancer. Pulp Fiction 1994.
I might be having a heart attack. I am overweight, over 50, and I am speedballing Frank darts and pure adrenaline.
Another of John Travolta's roles. When Sgt Hatred injects his heart with adrenaline, it is reminiscent of the scene in Pulp Fiction when Vince Vega saves Mia from an overdose. O.J. Simpson, 1947 to 2024.
I also told you to find my real killers. How's that going, OJ? Look, just talk to her.
A particularly dark reference. After O.J. Simpson murdered his wife Nicole and her friend Ron Goldman, he vowed to find their real killers. Happy Days, Hollywood, Part 3, 1977.
Hey, they're henchmen! You don't explain to them, they do your bidding. When you say jump, they say what shark?
Jumping the shark refers to an incident in Happy Days when the Fonz jumped over a shark on water skis. The phrase has entered common parlance and describes when a TV show has lost its creative moorings and has started to introduce new elements which are discordant or a caricature of their original premise. Thankfully, the Venture Bros has never jumped the shark, even during the episodes which featured a shark disguised as Brock. Jokes! The situationship between the Monarch and his Butterglider is comedy gold.
Let's find a way to grind. And all our heart, what a baby.
And the scene where Sheila stubs her toe on the Butterglider.
Ow! Motherfucker! What the hell is that thing doing in our bed? Get it out of there!
Don't you fucking touch her!
And the resulting argument she has with the Monarch about it is hilarious.
Here, you never supported me in Butterglider, ever!
Okay, wow, I wrote this off as some kind of midlife crisis kind of thing. But this is... They don't even have a name for what this is.
Why do you have to put a label on everything, huh?
I also found the Monarch's moonlight picnic with his Butterglider completely inappropriate.
My arch enemy?
Maybe you and your Butterglider should talk some sense into him.
Character development. It was great to see Brock back with adventures and having an adventure with the boys. Regulars of this channel will know that I was increasingly frustrated and disturbed with Sgt Hatred's behaviour.
Damn it, I hate those creepy little bastards! Hey, incoming, aim low!
But he seems a lot more competent to the last time we saw him. When the Monarch brought an inappropriate present to King Gorilla's party,
nobody told me.
It was consistent with the reckless and thoughtless behaviour that we know him for. However, he dealt with the consequences in a mature and classy way. He knew he was going to get shit for giving King Gorilla cigarettes, but he stuck around to take the heat, which was a brave move. It was also decent of him to encourage Sheila to leave the party before it all kicked off, which meant that she was spared the awkward scene. I can't imagine Season 1, 2 or even Season 3 Monarch doing this, so he seems to be developing a real sense of morality. Although he did go on to let himself down with his Butterglider shenanigans. Scorpio is at King Gorilla's party.
Oh, this guy! Why,
So we know that he survived the kicking he received at the hands of Captain Sunshine.
Captain Sunshine, you want any help? I said stay in the car!
And Princess Tiny Feet was also there, so it appears that they've already started dating. Rating. Season 4 was split into 2 parts, with a gap of almost a year between the last episode, Pinstripes and Poltergeist, and this one. So it feels like a season premiere. It is my favourite episode from Season 4 so far. The Monarch song makes it particularly memorable, and the reference to the diving bell and the butterfly gives it a tragic and cerebral edge. I also particularly like the way Jackson brought back the abandoned Fantastic Voyage story from Season 1. I appreciated the return of Brock. Whilst he isn't the Venture's bodyguard anymore, it was great to see him hanging out with Hank and Dean again. I'm struggling to find anything negative to say about the diving bell and the Butterglider, so I'm going to give this episode a 10 out of 10. So let me know what you think. Did you like this episode as much as I did? What did you think about the Monarch song? Have you heard of Talking Heads, and have you ever seen or read The Diving Bell and the Butterfly? Do you ever experience events from the Venture Bros popping into your mind for no reason whatsoever? If you don't know what to write, just drop an ignore me, or a sphinx, or a spanakopter, or you've never supported me in Butterglider, because comments really help the algorithm. If you've been following my series about the Venture Bros episodes, you might have noticed that I've switched the format slightly in this video. I noticed in the comments that the most popular part of my videos was cultural references, so I decided to put more time into that section. And I've also added a new section, Iconic Moments, where I pick 2 of the most powerful events from the episode and talk about them at the start of each video. I felt that the style section of previous videos was becoming too bloated, so I've removed it entirely from this one. But I have plans to bring it back if I think that the episode requires it. If you've enjoyed this video, please drop me a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I've made loads of videos about the Venture Bros which you might enjoy. Hello to any newcomers and welcome back to my subscribers. Thank you so much to my channel members. You guys are awesome and I'm going to give you a shout out in the video's end screen, so please stick around for that. And check out my members monthly update videos. I have 2 levels of membership, the Guild of Calamitous Intent and the Peril Partnership, so please consider signing up for membership if you can, because it really helps the channel. Add me on Instagram, add me on Blue Sky, their link is in my bio. So that's all from me. I upload videos every weekend, so unless anything comes up before then, I'll see you next time.